Hello and welcome back to Our Home to Haven. Today is such an exciting video for me. There's nothing fancy about it. It's not a vlog. It's just me talking about Thanksgiving and how to plan for it. And Thanksgiving is probably one of my all-time favorite holidays / meals to prepare for. I don't know, there's something just cozy about it, and just having friends and family over at your home, all just having a great time. It makes me happy. So today I am going to discuss how to plan for your Thanksgiving dinner. Now, this is not an all-inclusive list, and I am not the guru of Thanksgiving planning, but I have learned a couple of things over the past 10 years or so. And if you're new, I would encourage you to take some notes or follow along. And if you have done this many, many times, please put your tips or anything that I've missed in the comments, and I will go through them. And this is probably going to be a part 1 because there's a lot as you get closer and things that I forget that I've done. So I'm going to have a list of things we do. I have this, and I have a list on my laptop. So if you see me looking down, I also typed it out, some supplemental to what I have written down in this page. So, also my daughter's laughing in the background. So, starting off, number 1 for me, and I find that having something physical is key, is to get yourself a binder. This is what I use. It is from when my son was in high school and he didn't use it, or maybe he did, I don't know, and I just took it. So I have my binder, and this is where I have my recipes. It's actually fall and winter recipes, articles that I've taken out. You know how they have sometimes those circulars in the stores that are like magazines, like anything that I thought looked good in there, I tear those out, and then I have my recipes. And the good thing about this is when you print these out, you can put your own notes on. So if you want to make a slight change, go ahead. If you find there's one recipe that you like and you tried it and you're like, oh, I didn't like that, you can make a change to it. For instance, I have this stuffing recipe, and I've added, there was no meat in here, but I really like the spices and everything and the herbs in here. So I added, because don't judge me because it's Thanksgiving and it can be extra, bacon strips, breakfast sausage, and heavy cream to my stuffing recipe. And I won't remember that year to year. So I added that on here and I wrote it down, and I think it's to the point where I'm gonna have to start getting page protectors. So after that, after my recipes, I made my own, but there are free ones out there, my own Thanksgiving planner. And I have a website that I kind of, avoid sometimes. But I can put this out there if you would like, but I can also link other ones. So this has a countdown, and it's 4 weeks, 3 weeks, 2 weeks, and then 7 days. And you write down what you need to do. You have a checklist and room for notes. And then after 7 days, we have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Well, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 day out. And then I also have a meal plan section right here. And for your drinks, appetizers, entrees, sides, and desserts. And then there's a cleaning plan for ahead of time, like I need to make sure I vacuum this day, I need to do this day, so you're not scrambling the day before. Then I also have a day of timeline. There are some other pages in here, but what I really use is the day of timeline. And as you can tell, I do most of my prep work days before, so I don't have to do much. Just a lot of times it's just sticking in the oven or mixing everything together. So this, I would suggest getting a binder. It's amazing. It's so helpful. Plus, writing things down, I know it sounds cliche, is 80% of it, because I will forget things if I don't write them down. All right, next up is make a rough estimate of your guest list. And this will help in everything from trying to get your meal plans to getting how many you need of each ingredient, how big of a certain thing you will need, like a turkey or ham. So That's number 2, get a rough estimate. And then 2A, I have 2A, is you backwards plan. So you use your guests and the day of Thanksgiving, and we do ours on Thanksgiving, and then you work backwards for what you need to do. And that's how you schedule everything out in this 4 weeks, 3 weeks, 2 weeks, etc. You will need to plan your menu, your shopping list, where people are going to sit in your house. That's not really a backwards planning thing, but that's something that you will need to plan. You backwards plan your cleaning, backwards plan your turkey, and I'll get to that when I talk about turkeys. And then let's see. Yeah, so that's what we will be backwards planning. And then when I get to certain sections in here, I'll talk about how we backwards plan going forward with each section as we go through them. Next up, you are going to want to make your menu. And for me, we have tried and true recipes that we have used. We don't really sway with anything fancy. I mean, I think last year I made cranberry salsa, and that was really good. It was like spicy and delicious, so may try that again. However, it's not really a time to try new things, like have a dinner where you try all different things and then bring your favorite next year. However, Thanksgiving, when people are coming and expecting good comfort food, that's when you give them good comfort food and not some sort of crazy thing you saw on Michelin star restaurant somewhere. So next up, so for your meal plans, you want to make sure that you have your appetizers all down, you have your main courses and the side dishes, your desserts, and then your beverages as well. And your appetizers are kind of important so you don't get cranky during the day while you're cooking. So charcuterie board, meat and cheese, same thing, almost interchangeable. Vegetables, no one really eats the vegetables usually, although I do, and it's a rookie move to go into Thanksgiving dinner on an empty stomach because you won't eat as much as you want to. Learn from me. If you want to have to wear sweatpants for the next 3 days, don't eat Thanksgiving dinner on an empty stomach, okay? Okay. All right, so for ours, I'm going to tell you what we have for ours. So our main course, or our main dish, is turkey and ham. My husband loves ham. I love making turkey, and I also love turkey, and I found a recipe that's amazing. So I've been doing this for the last 7 years or so. Our sides are stuffing, green bean casserole, a sweet potato casserole, which is delicious, from Sally's Baking Addiction, and everything that I can find that I have linked, I will put in the link underneath. And then my husband makes macaroni and cheese, and it's the absolute best. And then we also have mac and cheese, and then every so often we'll have different sides, and I can't remember them right now, but whatever guests bring, they can bring. And then there's rolls, of course. So desserts, we have a couple of pies. Once again, I have many children, and they're large boys, not large, but you know, they're older boys and they eat a lot. So I'll do an apple pie, pumpkin pie, usually 2 pumpkin pies because each of the filling makes for 2, and then a pecan pie because my husband loves it. So that, and then I will sometimes make a butterscotch bundt cake, and it's delicious. All right, so next up, coming off of the recipes and menu, is getting your turkey. So I, for the last couple of years, have been getting a turkey from the farm that I go to. You don't have to do this. It's just my preference. I really enjoy the flavor of it, and it's not something that we spend a lot of money on every year. It's just a once a year thing, and we do that, and they are literally raised 10 miles from me or 5 miles from me, and I know they have a happy, good life. But I also buy the 89 cent a pound turkey from Giant. So there's really no wrong way about this. You can get whatever you want. So don't feel bad where you get your turkey from. No one cares. No one's gonna know. You could say you got your turkey from Giant, and if you make it well, it's gonna taste just as good. So don't stress out about that, especially if there's a budget that you have to stick to. And then we can go into that in another discussion. I don't have notes on that, but sticking to a budget was a big part of my life for a long, it still is, but strictly maintaining a budget was hugely important. So don't worry about impressing people about where you get your food from. So with your turkey, there's a lot that comes in with that. For turkeys, you have to thaw out in your refrigerator 24 hours for every 4 to 5 pounds. So I usually get a 20-pound turkey, and it takes about 5 days to thaw out in my refrigerator. So backwards planning, we're gonna talk about brining. So I dry brine my turkey for 2 days. So that's in total 7 days. So I'm gonna have to take my turkey out of the refrigerator the Thursday before, actually the Wednesday before, so I don't forget. And then I'm cooking a mostly frozen turkey. Also, if you've ever tried to spatchcock a frozen turkey, it's not simple. So also, if you are going to spatchcock your turkey, regular kitchen scissors won't cut it. You need to get full stainless steel scissors. I'll show you what I have, or try to find them somewhere, but thank goodness I had them, because my mom gave me kitchen scissors one year, and I was like, oh, I can use them. I was literally bending the scissors. So it needs to be a full metal scissor. Otherwise, that bone is gonna break your scissors. So, and I don't want that to happen. Okay, so backwards planning with the turkey. Take your turkey out in enough time, because if you have a frozen turkey, it's gonna have to cook longer in the oven, and it's gonna be a drier turkey, and you don't want that. Also, I spatchcock mine. So this is something that I discovered quite a few years ago, and it is amazing. I love everything about that. It cooks in like 2 hours. As long as you have a pan that's wide enough to cook the turkey in, you're fine. It can't go in your usual boiler roasting pan with the dish. It won't fit in there. You have to lay it out flat. So, on to the next section. Okay, next, once you have your menu and you have your turkey ordered or bought from the store, you're going to want to make a shopping list. And the way I break this up is I find my recipes and I put everything out, but I will break them out by, the way I do my shopping list anyways is produce, non-perishable like cans, and then bread and protein, and then the drinks. So that way everything has its place. So when you're going to the store, you can start by getting the non-perishable first. Get your canned items, especially if you are on a budget and you can spread it out throughout the weeks. So you can get your canned goods one week, you can get something else the next week, frozen foods the next week, and then you can get your fresh foods within a week of the plan, your event. So that's how I would manage my budget with that. And also you want to get your produce as close to the event as possible. Just in case you were wondering, these are the notes. This is how I would make my, so up here you can't see, these are let's see. Oh yeah, this is my dairy, my butter, mascarpone, cheddar, Parmesan cheese, and then there's the onion, garlic, etc., celery, and that's how I would do that. Okay, I'm back. I'm gonna talk about things you can do up until the day of Thanksgiving. So this is what I have. Starting on Tuesday is usually, it's like kind of go time. My mom-in-law is here and she loves being here, and I love having her here, and she helps out so much, and it's such a great time. So for me, let's go both by list. For me, for 4 weeks out, I have finalized the guest list. And normally we don't have a lot of extra people here. Like, our family is big enough, but our neighbors always come over and we split the meals with my neighbors. So, and that always helps. That is a good point that I forgot to make. Have a friend or a family do this with you, a family member do this with you. It's so much more fun, and they get to enjoy it with you, and the pressure is not all on you. Also, my daughter did my nails. Next up on 4 weeks out is the first menu draft. And I did this a couple of years ago. I don't need that anymore. I know exactly what we're making. I know what everybody loves, and we're not deviating from that. Next up is 3 weeks out. Is if we are using plastic or paper utensils, we buy those and make sure we have enough, along with paper towels and napkins, because we always seem to run out, like cups. Anything that's you can throw away, make sure you have extra trash bags if you need to. And then reserve the turkey. I usually do that between 4 and 5 weeks out, so that's actually kind of late. So this week I'm going to be reserving my turkey, and it requires a deposit, and I'll probably ask for a 20-pound turkey. So next up, oh, you also want to make sure you have room in your freezer for this thing, because it's gonna sit in there, and it's about this big, that big. So that's about how big your turkey's gonna be in your freezer. So you want to make sure you have enough space for everything you're gonna make. If not, ask a neighbor, ask someone if you can hold that in their freezer. Next up, stock up on pantry items. I have 3 weeks out, so non-perishables I consider pantry items, like noodles for mac and cheese. If you want to make your stuffing from scratch and put the bread in the freezer, you can do that. Canned goods like green beans, cream of mushroom soup, anything that is that cranberry sauce, you can do that. Now, you also can start shopping for drinks as well. Like, we like to drink wine. We stay away from liquor on Thanksgiving. We really just stay away from liquor anyways, but we find that it's a more enjoyable event if people aren't getting smashed out of their face. So beer and wine is what we serve for alcohol. 2 weeks out, I start cleaning out my freezer, because the Thanksgiving turkey is here about 2 weeks beforehand. So I actually have that on here, and it's kind of in order. So I'm sorry if I jumped ahead with that, but it is important to have your turkey, your freezer cleaned out. You also want to clean out your refrigerator and try and keep it clean. The closer I get to Thanksgiving, the less leftovers we try to keep in our refrigerator, and I try to make for not leftovers, because we're at home during the week anyways. I try to take off the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday to be with my mom, my mother-in-law, so that's why I do that. And then 7 days out, I make the schedule for cooking, and then buy the fruits and vegetables. I take out the turkey and pick it up if I haven't already. So normally I pick up the turkey 2 weeks before, and it sits in my freezer. All right, and then I'm gonna jump to these notes. So these are what I have. This is what I had been using, and that's why it's not actually in my planner. I've had this, and this is Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And then this is kind of the day of timeline that I transferred into here. And it's like down to like coffee. So this year we are going to be helping out at our church, and I'm not sure how long it's going to take, so I'm going to have to put that in here as well. So we sometimes like to take walks, like it's going to help. Anyways, so Tuesday I make my pie dough, and I make the dough for all of those. And the good thing about the pie dough is it does need to chill anyways. So you make the pie dough on Tuesday, put it in your refrigerator, and they're in discs, so they don't take up much space. And you put it in your refrigerator, and then Wednesday you can make the pies. But still on Tuesday, I take the turkey out and I start dry brining it. Give me a second. Okay, so I had to go outside, get the pool from flying off the back of my deck, because we left it out there because that's who we are. Anyways, so Wednesday is go time. You can also move some of this stuff into Tuesday, and sometimes I do, depending on what I want to do and how busy I want my Wednesday to be. So Wednesday is I start my turkey stock, and with that, if I've spatchcocked my turkey already, I will use the backbone of that, and I will use I will occasionally buy some cheap chicken wings for that. And you don't have to do that if you don't want to, but if you want to, go ahead. Or if you have carcasses left over that you're saving for broth, you can use that as well. So I'll do that, and I'll simmer that all day, so I'll have a nice batch of stock. And for that, I use my stock with the stuffing and my gravy, and then I don't make too much. It's a smaller batch, so I make about 8 cups of it. So actually, yeah, 8 to 10 cups of my gravy or my stock, so I can have enough for my stuffing. So I will then roll and par bake my pie crusts that need to be par baked, and then I will bake my apple, pumpkin, and pecan pies all in that same day. And then that's where my daughter can help, and she really likes doing that. So it's easy for her to just stir things and pour things in. It's a lot of fun. Then I make cranberry sauce. Me and my husband both love the canned cranberry sauce, but I also really love the chunky cranberry sauce that I make, and I put orange peel in it, and it's super good. So we will do that. And then I strain and container the stock, and then I will container the cranberry sauce. And then actually, let me go back on that. Once I am done, all of this is actually, I have recently been doing this on Tuesday. So, no, you're right. Okay, go back. So, and then I will prep the stuffing. So I will cut all the vegetables, and I will cut up the bread, and I will toast it in the oven so it's nice and toasty, because the drier it is, the more it absorbs of the delicious liquids that you are making. So you will cut your lettuce and tomatoes. No, you will cut like your tomatoes, all your aromatics for that. And then I put it in those plastic containers, and I put it in the refrigerator. And I also like to keep anything together for charcuterie boards, all the cheeses together. In any recipe that I am prepping, I keep those together in separate areas of the refrigerator so I can pull it out and I'm not searching for each one. So I have all my things for my stuffing in one container, all my cheese measured out for the mac and cheese in another container, everything that I need for the gravy in another container. So that's how I do that. And now on Thursday, we have prep and make mac and cheese, cook stuffing. This is all at the end of the day, like maybe around 2 or 3, depending on when you're having your dinner. So you also, going back to planning, the very beginning planning, when I was talking about, do you have enough chairs? Do you have enough space? Are you gonna have enough food? You need to make sure you have enough oven space, because that is key. We are thankful enough to have a double oven, and our neighbors also have a double oven. So we have enough ovens between the two of us that we don't have to worry about that. We do play games of Tetris in there, and I like to keep things, the bottom one, warm, so things will be warm and I could take them out. But oven space is a must. Then we make mashed potatoes, and then I put in the turkey on Thursday. I don't have that down here. Oh yes, I do. Cooked turkey. Pull out in the AM. Don't forget to let your turkey come to room temperature before you put it in the oven. So it needs to sit out. You need to take your turkey out in the morning to let it come to room temperature. Make sure your dog doesn't try to eat it. So that all being said is Thanksgiving in a nutshell, a very crazy nutshell. I apologize if that was kind of fast, but this is something that I'm very excited about, and I'm probably going to do subsequent videos to go further into detail if anyone needs any extra information on this. So yes, so I have a timeline. My dinner is at 5, and it works well for us. Everybody helps clean up. The food is delicious. And then sometimes if we're feeling froggy, actually usually it's the next day. Oh yes, I can talk about that. Friday, we call it Countdown to Christmas or Kickoff to Christmas, one or the other, I can't remember. And we take all of our leftovers, and I got this from Giada De Laurentiis. Don't hate me for that. And she does something similar, and what we do is we take all of our leftovers and I repurpose, not all of them, but some of them. Like I will make pozole from mashed potatoes, and I will make puffs, sweet potato puffs. Like I'll put them in puff pastry and fry them. And then I have a mascarpone dipping sauce. Actually, I'll mix them with mascarpone, and then I have a dipping sauce, cranberry dipping sauce. So good. And then we will make, let's see, macaroni, fried macaroni and cheese balls. It's so good. So that's something that I probably will talk about again as well. And then we play Christmas music. It's so much fun. So that is how you prep very high level for Thanksgiving. And once again, if you have any questions, put them in the comments and I will answer them in another video if you have any. And I'm sure there will be, because I was kind of all over the place and I apologize for that. So thank you, and please like and subscribe if this helped you, and I hope to see you next time.